These 4 DIY luxury style decor I built as part of the Creative Champion contest, and it has never been shown here on my channel, and I'm so excited to show you. Let's get started. Hello friends, so today I am going to be creating a shutter barn door style wall decor, and I'm pulling out this palette because I have had in my garage literally over a year. I'm going to take it all apart using the saw there that you saw me use. I think it's called a reciprocal saw. And then I'm going to place these here outside. It's a beautiful day today, and I am going to line them up as I need them. I'm going to take a smaller one of the boards, or at least thinner ones, and I'm just going to place them on top, and I am going to mark where I need to make cuts. I'm going to use my miter saw to make cuts, and that way I'll have one for the bottom and one for the top of my barn door slash shutter. It's more of a barn door that I'm creating. And again, if you are, I hope this inspires you to use some power tools. I love using power tools, but always, always be careful. I'm going to sweep off some of these boards because they have been in my garage and some cobwebs and dirt, you know. And then I'm going to use a technique that I have used several times on my DIYs, and that is where I use a scraper and some paint and scrape the paint on, which is odd because normally you scrape paint off, but in this case I am scraping the paint on, just taking very little amount of paint, and I'm scraping it as I see needed. I want these boards to look like they've been outdoors and the paint was chipping off, and that's exactly what I got. I really love the way it turned out. I'm going to give you a little close up here on how I do it and a little bit of slow down. So again, just put a little bit of paint on the scraper and then just scrape down, and you can add a little, as little or as much as you want. And of course you can always sand down a little bit more if you add a little bit too much, but I like the way it turned out. So now I'm just going to place the horizontal boards and secure them using some brad nails and my brad nail gun. This handle I have had for so many months. It was from a dresser that I flipped. It's actually very rusted, naturally rusted, which is exactly what I wanted it. And I just drilled a couple holes and I placed it there. So now I'm going to take this wreath form from the Dollar Tree and these leaves. It's like a magnolia leaf pick that I got at Dollar General for $2. I pulled apart the leaves. Now I'm just going to hot glue them all facing one way all around the wreath. And then I'm going to take the smaller leaves from the picks and I'm going to start hot gluing them in between the larger leaves, some facing inwards and some facing outwards. And I think it turned out just to kind of fill it in a little bit more. And then I had some of these little white little leaves that I got recently at the Dollar Tree. I'm going to pull them apart and I'm going to start threading them, or not threading them, but just pushing them in. No hot glue needed. And I'm going to do so every so many leaves, and then some are going to be facing inwards and some are going to be facing outward. Then I'm going to screw a screw on the top of the board, place the wreath, and that's it for this one, guys. For this next project, I am going to take a 1x2 that I got at the hardware store. 1x2s are one of the best pieces of wood you can start doing woodwork with. They're easy to work with. You can even have the hardware store cut them for you if you know the measurements. So I cut 2 pieces at 23 inches and then, 26 inches, and then 2 smaller pieces at 13 inches. I'm going to use wood glue, and this time I'm going to use my stapler. So you can see that you do not need heavy power tools. A simpler electric stapler or a regular staple will do for such pieces of wood like this, which is a 1x2. They're lighter and they're thinner, so they're perfect for this kind of I guess a joinery. So we're just going to staple them on every joint, and I actually stapled the front and the back for more stability. I am now going to give everything 2 coats of Rust-Oleum chalk pen in the linen white. I'm not going to take these little flat dowels. They're like bamboo sticks. I get them on Amazon and they're really good to work with. Now they came in this size, but they're really easy to cut if you have a dowel cutter. And I'm just going to give each of them 1 coat of Waverly chalk paint and the ink tone. Now I'm going to crisscross them all down the frame. This is going to be like a window style decor. And this is the back side of the window. So we're going to staple them to the back side of the window, crisscrossing them. And then again, we're just going to use staples to secure them in place.
People talk and tell what you wanna hear now, but they all disappear, they will let you down. So we better stick together. Let's come whatever. We're not coming home tonight. We're living quick.
Now I'm going to take this little wreath that I got at the Target dollar spot. It was $3 and I thought it was just perfect. It's boxwood. So I'm just going to tie it with the little jute string that already came with it. Then I'm going to fluff the little branches because if you know, one of my pet peeves is that when anybody uses for greenery, please fluff them. They just look so much better when they're fluffed. All right, so now I'm going to take some burlap ribbon here, and I'm just going to make a very simple bow, tie it in the center with some jute string, and hot glue it to the top of the wreath. I am then going to take some black ribbon that I got at Michael's, and I'm going to make another very simple bow, hot glue it on top of the burlap ribbon, and then do the same thing with white ribbon, just to add a little bit of contrast and just texture to the wreath. And to finish things off, I am going to tie this little galvanized rooster that I recently got at Hobby Lobby. I love it, love it, love it. And I thought it'd be perfect to add right underneath the wreath. And once I had it secured and tightened in place, we're all done, guys. I love this window. It's actually a pretty good size when you see it in real life. And it's just so farmhouse. It just screams it. And I just love the way it looks. Alright friends, so for this project, I am going to begin with using some leftover planks that I had from the palette board that I used for my very first project for this competition. And I had maybe about 2.5 boards left over. So I'm just going to use them and cut them to different sizes because we're going to make a box, a very rustic looking box. But this is going to be a little bit more on the farmhouse side. My projects today are going to be more of a farmhouse style look. So I'm just going to create a box using my brad nailer. But if you do not have a brad nailer, you can always use maybe like some long staples or just a regular hammer and nails. So as you can see, I'm just going to create a simple box. Once I had the box kind of made there, I am now going to use the 3 leftover planks and I'm just going to stagger them as evenly as I can. And then I am going to use wood glue again and some brad nails and just secure them in place. Now I am going to give everything one coat of Rust-Oleum chalk paint in the linen white. This is going to be a pretty heavy one coat, but it's not going to be perfect because I do want it to have a distressed look. Once the paint was dry, I am going to use this stencil that I cut using my Cricut, and it just says Southern Company Coffee Farm, I believe. Yes, Coffee Farm. That's not a real company. I made it up, but I'm just going to place it in the front there, and I'm going to start stenciling it using Waverly chalk pen in the ink and a makeup wedge sponge. To finish it off, I am just going to sand down that stencil and just sand down everywhere in the box. I want it to look very distressed, almost like this has been around for a while and it's just weathered and distressed over the years. And that's it for this one. I love when these boxes look so rugged, so farmhouse, and they just look like they've been around like this for years, and really it's brand new, I mean, in a sense. So I just really love the way this one turned out. So we are going to use this 1x10 that I got at the hardware store, and I am going to give it 2 coats of Rust-Oleum chalk pen in the linen white. I want to take 3 of these jars from the Dollar Tree, remove the lids, and I'm going to screw in a couple of holes just to give me a starting point to cut a piece of the top using some shears. Be very, very careful if you are doing this because that tin will be very, very sharp. I did hammer down some of the sharper areas with my hammer, and I did help, but it is still very sharp. So be very, very careful. I'm also going to take 2 of the Dollar Tree nautical ropes. I'm going to join them using some painter's tape, and then I'm just going to roll them, just kind of twist them against each other, creating a thicker rope. Then I'm going to take this Hobby Lobby bush, and I separated all the picks into smaller ones. I did end up cutting another piece of wood and painted it the same color as you can see there. So I'm going to place it on top of the larger one, and then I'm going to trace it just so that I know how big it is. That way I know where to staple the branches to. I'm using my electric stapler, and I'm just going to start stapling the branches all around the edge. Then I'm going to take the smaller piece of wood that I painted. I'm going to place it right on top, covering all those stems and all the staples. I'm going to pre-drill a few holes and then screw in some screws to secure everything in place. Then I am going to take a spade blade, and then I am going to drill 4 holes, 1 in each corner, and that's what we're going to thread the rope through in a little bit. Now soon here, we're going to start working with some twinkle lights. These jars that I was using, I am going to start placing some twinkle lights that I got at the Dollar General during the Christmas time, but I only have 2 instead of 3. So we're going to share the lights. So I'm going to start to thread the lights starting from the top of the lid inside, and then I'm going to, once everything is in, then I am going to take that end piece and thread it out again so that I can share the lights with the middle jar. And I'm going to do the same thing with the other side. So it's going to be about 2/3 of the lights in each jar. See, that way I have both ends coming out of the lid, and it's going to be easier to then screw in the lids to the board. I'm going to flip over the jars, and now I'm going to screw them in very carefully. So I am going to unscrew the lids, but I'm not going to remove the whole jar because I don't want the lights to come out. So I'm just going to kind of keep it tilted just like that. And then I'm going to use my other hand to screw in. I'm going to use 3 screws on each lid to make sure that it's really secure. And I'm going to do that on all 3. I did measure the 2 outside jars. That way they are nicely placed evenly. And then when that is done, I'm going to flip over the entire chandelier, and then we're going to screw in the battery packs towards the back of the chandelier. I'm going to bend over the branches. That way they are falling down through the sides instead of sticking out. I did that all around. Then I'm going to take the rope and I'm going to thread it through those bigger holes that we drilled earlier, and I'm going to make a knot. Then I'm going to pull out towards the top to kind of make sure that I have both ropes the length that I wanted, and then I'm going to make a very large knot. I absolutely love the way this chandelier turned out. I think it's just beautiful. It is large, heavy duty, so fresh looking, and I love the way they turned out. And I hope you love it too. This is it for today. Aren't these beautiful? I am so proud of the work that I submitted for the contest. And although I did not win, again, I am very proud to have submitted the work that I did. If you really enjoy these DIYs, give me a thumbs up. Thumbs up on my videos help my video reach new people and help my channel grow. Welcome if you are visiting for the first time, and if you are returning, welcome back. I do have a playlist here with tons more of inspiration for you. Check it out. I'll see you later and have a blessed day. Bye.
I just